Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Sunday. We got a pretty solid slate for Sunday. Real quick, let's see how we did last night. So, if you guys watched my video yesterday, you guys knew I really liked the Washington-Minnesota stack. So that's what I ended up going with. I liked a couple of the cheap Lakers. Josh Hart was a little disappointing, but I brought Mo Wagner, was huge. I didn't end up playing him because I only had room for one guy, but Mo Wagner was huge for Lakers. Caruso was solid. So those are the three that I did really like. And then I also pointed out I really like John Collins too, and he went crazy just because I just went with the full game stack. That's why I didn't go with John Collins. But yeah, he went crazy. And then, yeah, if you stack this Washington-Minnesota game, I think you did really well too. So, yeah, really, really good night. The only really disappointing guy was Teague. He's like 2 of 15 or something like that. Like, man, if you could just knock down a few more shots. Josh Hart, obviously, a little bit too. I thought about just playing Mo here and eating the salary. I really should have. But, yeah, went with Josh Hart. But, yeah, like I said, still a really good night. And let's keep it going here for Sunday. Okay. So, 6 games, and it's kind of like yesterday again. I really like one game as a game stack here. New Orleans, Atlanta, all about this game. Two fast-paced, bad teams, play no defense. So absolutely love this game. I'm 100% going to stack this again. Then we'll get to the other games here also. So let's just jump into the analysis here. Harden 11.3 against Dallas. Obviously this guy has 60, 70, 80 fantasy point upside whenever he takes the court. There's not a whole lot of stars to pay up for. I mean, you got the Golden State guys, but they're in blowout, definitely a potential blowout. You got Giannis, but not in the best matchup against the Spurs. So not a whole lot of stars in good matchups. So Harden at 11.3, I think it's a pretty safe bet to get you 50, 60 fantasy points. Now we got the Golden State guys. If you're going to play them only in GPPs, it is so risky. I think it's like a 17-point spread at home. Obviously, Phoenix not good. So, can you play a Warrior or two? Yeah. Me personally, I'm not going to go there. Like I said, I just really like the Pelicans-Hawks game, so I'm just going to stack that up. But I think, if Phoenix somehow keeps it close, that one or two of those Warriors can have a pretty big game. Doncic at 8.8. Been playing really well here. The minutes have been a little concerning, but 36 and 33 the last two is pretty good. The matchup's not bad here against Houston. Houston likes to push the pace, so it should be an up-tempo game. So I have no issue with Luka Doncic here at 8.8. Booker. So if I was going to play Phoenix guys, again, it probably would be Devin Booker here at 8.3. He has 50 fantasy point upside. And if Phoenix is going to somehow keep this close, it's going to have to be because of a big game from Booker here. So I think you could take a shot there, but personally, I'm not on this slate just because I like the Pelicans-Hawks so much. And then we got Trae Young, 8.1. I think he's just too cheap for this matchup. The thing that does concern me, he was playing huge minutes. He was playing close to 40 minutes. Now they're scaling back a bit, 30, 32, 29. That concerns me a bit. But the matchup is too good here for me to ignore. So I do like Trae Young a lot here at 8.1. Chris Paul, 7.4, I think is pretty fair. He's going to play 30 to 35 minutes. The matchup's not bad here against Dallas. So I think he's okay. But again, I'm just leaning towards this game stack with the Pelicans-Hawks. Let's see. Okay, so now we got Dennis Smith Jr. If I was going to play a Nick, it would be him. But we can't get lured into the David Fizdale type deal here. So he's got 28 and 29, but now he's played 37 and 32 the last two games. Just be careful. Like I said, we can never trust David Fizdale. He can pull the ropes here and play Dennis Smith Jr. 25 minutes, and I would not be surprised at all. But the matchup's good here. This is another game that I do like. I'm targeting, but it's just hard because, again, the Knicks, it's so hard to predict. On the Minnesota side, there is a lot I like on the Minnesota side, and we got some injuries, so I'll get to them in a bit. But Dennis Smith Jr., I think, is pretty solid. I think he's got 40, 50 fantasy point upside if he plays those minutes. So I do like Dennis Smith Jr. here at 6K. It's just, be careful. There's a shot that, he just gets placed like 25 minutes or so. Now we got Jeff Teague right below him at 5.9. I know he was disappointing, but we can't be results oriented. I mean, he was out there for 34 minutes in a good matchup. He shot the ball 2 of 14. I don't think we're going to expect him to shoot that bad again. Derrick Rose actually came up on the injury report that he might rest, so that would be huge for Teague. We also got Wiggins sat out last game, and Karl Anthony Towns at the very end of the game got injured and came out. So there's a lot of injury news here from Minnesota. If Rose, if Wiggins, and if Karl Anthony Towns are out, then I really like Teague here at 5.9. There just wouldn't be a whole lot left for the Minnesota offense. So I would really like him if a couple of those guys are out. Alf Payton right below him. Really like him as well. No Drew, obviously. Possibly no Anthony Davis. I'd assume he doesn't play. So Alfred Payton, going to play 30 minutes in a great matchup here. So I do like him quite a bit at 5.8. D Rose, so hasn't popped up yet here on DraftKings, but I did see this fantasy lab say he could rest. 5K if he doesn't rest, and if Wiggins misses, I think D Rose would be a pretty solid play. Played 30 minutes last time out. If Wiggins, I said Wiggins, Towns, a couple of those guys are out. That there's a lot of usage to go around. So we're gonna have to kind of wait for news. But right now, I'd assume Towns and Wiggins both don't play, and possibly even D Rose. So yeah. Let's see. So Tyus Jones here at 3.5. I would definitely consider if all three of those guys miss for Minnesota. I'd assume he would have to be forced to play probably 25 or 30 minutes. So I'd really like him if all three of those Minnesota guys are out. And then Frank Jackson here at 4.2. With no Drew, he picked up the start, played 37 minutes. Definitely go back to the well here in a great match here against Atlanta. I'd assume he plays 30, 35 minutes. So I really like him as a cheap play at 4.2. Let's move on to shooting guard. Let's see. Like any of these guys up here, like DeRozan, Middleton, Thompson, Oubre. Yeah, can you play him? Yeah, but I just think there's better plays on the board. So not Wiggins, obviously. This is questionable, that thigh bruise. So if Towns misses and Wiggins plays, I think Wiggins would definitely be playable here at 6K in a good match against New York. So again, we have a lot of injury news we're waiting for on the Minnesota side. That's going to kind of change how we view the slate. The wings for Atlanta, like Bazemore, Prince, Herter, it's just, they're too jumbled up. No one's playing enough minutes. On the Atlanta side, it's really Trae Young, it's John Collins, and it's Alex Len for me, and probably no one else. Let's see. I mean, the secondary Knicks pieces, sure, one of them's probably gonna have a good game, but it's just too big of a headache trying to figure out who it's gonna be. I'm not gonna go there. And let's see. I think that's it for the cheap guys. Koji, I guess, if all three of those guys are out from Minnesota, but he really hasn't looked good recently. Okay, small forward. Giannis here, 11.1. I think it's fine. He's probably going to get you 50 fantasy points. Does have upside. But again, I'm probably not going that way in the slate. But I think Giannis is certainly fine. The Warriors, Steph, Durant, Clay, all these guys are definitely in play. It's just too big of a risk. The blowout is too real, so I'm probably not going to go there. I probably should avoid that game. Let's see. So we got Kenrich Williams here at 4.9. He definitely would get a boost here if Anthony Davis does miss again. We've seen, he's been pretty productive when he gets minutes. He's playing right around 30 minutes or so. He does have upside. So 4.9K, I think he is definitely firmly in play here. I really don't see a whole lot else So yeah, let's move on to power forward. So we got Randall here at 8.5. Really like him in this matchup against Atlanta. Obviously, we get a boost if Anthony Davis misses. Also, Jahlil Okafor listed as questionable. If he misses, that would be another boost to Randall. So, he's playing 38, 39, 35, 32 minutes. He's playing all the minutes he can handle in a great matchup against Atlanta. I really like Julius Randle here. Now, we got Aldridge at 8K. Bigs have been doing really well against Milwaukee. Aldridge playing a lot of minutes, too, here. 39, 35, 36, 38. So if I was going to play something from this game, it would 100% be Aldridge at 8K. So yeah, I do like him for the Spurs a lot here. And then we got John Collins at 7.5. Talked about him in my last video. Put up 64 fantasy points. Now he's got a matchup here against the Pelicans. You can't get a better matchup than this. John 7.5 is not enough in my opinion, so I really like him again. Anthony Davis here at 6.8. So listed as questionable. If he plays, he's probably going to play 22 minutes or so. But I would definitely consider him at 6.8K here. The matchup is just so good. I think he has 50 fantasy point upside in 22 minutes, honestly, in this matchup. So if he plays, I would definitely consider playing Anthony Davis. Deadman here, he was out last game. I'd assume he's going to be out again today. I don't think one day is going to do much. So that's a boost to John Collins, obviously, and a boost to Alex Len. So yeah, I'd assume Deadman's going to be out. Covington, haven't got an update yet. He obviously didn't play last game. If he plays, I'd assume he's going to be limited, so I still probably couldn't go there. Let's see. So Cheat Diallo here, 4.8. This guy is kind of boom or bust, but obviously the big news here is Anthony Davis. If he misses, that's a huge boost to Diallo. And Jahlil Okafor, if he misses too, Diallo, I think, would play 25 or so minutes in a really good game. So if both those guys are out, Diallo would be a great play here at 4.8. The match is obviously so good. So he's kind of contingent on whether Anthony Davis and Jahlil Okafor do play or not. And then we got Taj and we got Saric here. I talked about them in my last video. I said, definitely can play one here against Washington. The matchup's really good. Taj put up 32. Saric put up 28. And now we got Karl-Anthony Towns, who left with the injury last game, and I'd assume he's going to miss again. There's rumors that he said something popped, so that's obviously not a good sign. So I really don't think Towns plays here. If that's the case, just lock and load both Taj and Saric. Both those guys would get a huge minutes boost. I'd assume they'd both play right around 30 minutes in a great matchup. I would just play them both 100% if Karl-Anthony Towns is out, and I assume that he's going to be out, so I'm most likely just going to lock and load Taj and Saric here. All right, let's move on to the center position. So again, Towns, just talked about it. I really don't think he's going to play. If he does play, and it's not going to be limited, obviously he has huge upside here against the Knicks, but I really don't expect him to play. Vucevic, you guys know I do love playing him. The matchup, not the best here against the Grizzlies and Jonas Valanciunas. The price, is playable, but I'm probably not going to go there on this slate. Obviously, you got the boogeyman. Any of those Warriors you could take a shot on. It's just a 17-point spread. The blowout is too real, so I'm probably not going to go there. Capella here at 7K, definitely playable. Dallas, pretty good matchup here for bigs. Dwight Powell, not the best defender. So I think Capella does have some upside here at 7K for sure. JV, you guys do know I like playing him as well. The matchup, you're going both ways, not the best. JV, solid defender. They also have Joakim Noah, and then Vucevic is a solid defender. I'm probably just going to stay away. Dwight Powell at 6.3. He's been playing pretty well here, playing a lot of minutes too. The matchup, not bad here against Houston. Should be a up and down game. So I think Powell definitely also in play here at 6.3. DeAndre Jordan, Mitchell Robinson, kind of splitting the minutes. Both of them have been playing pretty well though. Obviously Minnesota runs big. You definitely could take a shot on one of these guys. But personally, I'm probably not going to go there. Then we got Alex Len at 5.6. This is only contingent on if Dedmon misses. If Dedmon plays, I'm not going to go there with Len. Len would be probably limited to 15 or so minutes. But Dedmon misses again. Alex Len, he has some pretty big upside. I know he's a headache to roster, but at 5.6, I think the price tag would scare some people off. But the matchup is so good here that if Dedmon misses, I would probably lead towards playing Alex Len here at 5.6. And yeah, I think that's about it. So obviously we're waiting on some big news here. The Towns news is huge. I'd expect him to miss. If he misses, really like Saric and Taj both. Obviously, also Anthony Davis news. That's pretty big for Randall, for Cheek Diallo. Wiggins news. If he misses, that's a big boost to Teague. Obviously, if Towns misses again, that's also a big boost to Teague. D Rose, if he plays, would also be certainly in play. Yeah, I think that's about it for the injury news that we're really waiting for. So there's a lot of bigs that I do like. Again, let me go over the bigs. I'm just thinking about it in my mind. There's obviously only 4 spots. There's center, power forward, forward, utility, where you can play 4 possible bigs. I'm just going over my head. It's going to be tough because there's a lot of bigs I like. So really like Randall. Really like John Collins. Let's see. I like Len if Dedmon misses. And then you got Taj. And you got Saric. So, and Diallo if Anthony Davis misses. So there's a lot of bigs I like, and there's only 4 possible spots. So I'm gonna have a difficult time. There's a lot of good bigs. So I'm gonna have a difficult time. Which 4 I want to go for. But yeah, I think that's about it here. So. If you guys have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave in the comment section down below. It's also important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts on when more news comes out throughout the day. And I'll be back for another video on Monday. So I will see you guys then.